So it's a Wednesday and we are back with UPSC Live with Manas. Well, there's so many questions which keep coming to us on email. इसलिए बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाता है कि हर हफ्ते Wednesday को मैं आऊँ और आपको आपके उन questions का जवाब दूँ. So lot of things happening in the country. Lot of things happening in the UPSC section of the Indian Express, where we have our new initiatives, where there are, some articles which you will see regularly now. We also, have reaching a point where our Essentials magazine is becoming, 1 year old, soon. So there are a lot of things happening. For example, जो क्वेश्चंस आए हमारे पास वो आए रिलेटेड टू पार्लियामेंट कि पार्लियामेंट में जो कुछ होने वाला है या जो हो रहा है व्हाट आर दोस थिंग्स व्हिच वी शुड कीप इन माइंड व्हाइल वी आर कवरिंग द पार्लियामेंट थिंग्स ऑल्सो what are our new initiatives? So people want to know कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं UPSC section में, what are the things which we've done in the past, we are continuing, how to reach to us. Of course, there are other queries related to, for example, mains ka season shuru ho gaya hai and there are queries related to optional subjects. So what we can do in the UPSC section of the Indian Express. Hello everyone, I am Manas Srivastava. Welcome again to UPSC Live with Manas. आज है Wednesday, आज है बुधवार और बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस को मैंने कलेक्ट कर लिया है आपके लिए and I'm going to talk about those questions one by one. Now, इससे पहले कि मैं UPSC in general की बात करूं और take up the queries related to your exams, which you're free to ask me and you can write to me at manas.srivastava@indianexpress.com also. Please remember, this live session is on Instagram channel of the Indian Express, but you will also see it recorded on the YouTube channel of the Indian Express, and I will be there also to answer your queries. I'll type the answers to your queries there also. So we do it, in different platforms so that बहुत लोगों की, जो परेशानियां हैं उसका कुछ हम solution आपको दे सके. That is the aim of the UPSC section. Now let's talk about Parliament. Okay, the Parliament is in news. So what I'm going to talk about is the news and how to see it, what to look into it. जब पार्लियामेंट की बात करते हैं तो ऑब्वियसली देयर इज अ स्टैटिक पोर्शन ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट व्हिच इज कवर्ड इन योर बुक्स. फॉर एग्जांपल देयर इज अ पॉलिटी बुक, देयर आर एनसीईआरटीज वेयर यू वुड हैव चैप्टर्स ऑन पार्लियामेंट. बट इफ यू हैव सीन द यूपीएससी प्रीलिम्स के क्वेश्चंस दिस ईयर रिलेटेड टू पॉलिटी, आपने देखा होगा कि बहुत बेसिक से क्वेश्चंस भी पूछे गए हैं इन योर एग्जाम्स. फॉर एग्जांपल ऑन पार्लियामेंट, ऑन मनी बिल्स एंड सो ऑन सो फोर्थ. उसके लिए आपको बेसिक नॉलेज की जरूरत है एंड टू लिंक करंट अफेयर्स टू द स्टैटिक पोर्शन ऑफ द सिलेबस. नाउ देयर इज समथिंग व्हिच आई वांट टू टेल यू. आप लोग इंडियन एक्सप्रेस में आर्टिकल्स पढ़ते हैं. You also see online articles. There are so many initiatives by UPSC section of the Indian Express. कभी आपने live blogs को देखा है क्या? Yeah, I'm talking about live blogs. So for example, Indian Express has a live blog running on Parliament updates. What is happening in Lok Sabha? For example, अगर मैं पूछूं कि लोक सभा से रिलेटेड, पार्लियामेंट से रिलेटेड अभी कौन से ऐसे इश्यूज हैं जो आपके दिमाग में चल रहे हैं. Now see, speaker, the post of the speaker. For example, now when we are doing live today, speaker को चूज कर लिया गया है, इलेक्ट कर लिया गया है. We know that Om Birla is again the speaker of this Lok Sabha और पिछले टर्म में भी रह चुके हैं. But then there is also issue related to deputy speaker. Okay, now when you are seeing, you might think that these topics are controversial topics, but they are not in reality. You would see that deputy speaker या speaker का जो post है वो आपका it's very exam oriented type of question. For example, I ask you that in which articles of the constitution, क्या पूछा मैंने पूछा कि in which articles of the constitution you see the mentioning of deputy speaker. Is the election or is the post of the deputy speaker, say for example, very compulsorily said in the constitution कि constitution में मतलब constitution में क्या ये लिखा है कि deputy speaker की post होनी चाहिए या नहीं? Okay, now you can tell me, you can write the answers just for your other people who are there in the chat. They can also talk about it. So I was saying कि speaker, deputy speaker. Then there is so much talk about emergency. Okay, अगर आप लोकसभा फॉलो कर रहे हैं तो emergency के बारे में बात हो रही है. Okay, now why emergency is so important for the exam point of view? There may be statements which look like political in nature, but when you go into the historical insights, ठीक है, historically emergency क्यों important है, पॉलिटी में, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल में आपका इमरजेंसी कहाँ इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स बिकम वेरी रेलिवेंट व्हेन यू आर लुकिंग एट द पार्लियामेंट, द सेशन व्हिच इज गोइंग ऑन. वी हैव अ क्वेश्चन एंड देन आई विल कम बैक टू द थिंग.
Okay, there is one question on how to take your subscription, as in Indian Express's subscription, and another question is how to cover public administration through Indian Express.
Okay, so we'll come to it. We'll come to all these two questions. First question is about the subscription. So I'll just take a pause and talk about the subscription. So from time to time, there is a subscription offer which is available especially for the UPSC aspirants. And this is something which is good about Indian Express, that wo UPSC aspirants ko dimag mein rakh ke, they give you subscription plans. Now, when you take a subscription plan as a UPSC pack, you get e-paper, you get digital paper, you get, a lot of other initiatives by the UPSC section and otherwise, opinions, explainers and everything. The best way for taking a subscription and to know about the subscription is go at indianexpress.com. There on the website, you will get an information about the UPSC pack. And the UPSC pack is a very comprehensive pack which is kept in where the aspirants are kept in mind, and there are many offers to offer you. Okay, तो वो आप देख लीजिए, और आपको UPSC Essentials की magazine will also be covered in that subscription plan. Okay, or you can write to manas.srivastava@indianexpress.com. Okay, we have another question.
So the question is about how to cover Indian geography from newspaper for mains optional, how to cover public administration through Indian Express, and how to read news related to UPSC for examination. Another question is English literature a good option?
Okay, so we will come to all these one by one. मेरी request है कि just stay on, okay, stay with us. And I'm going to talk about optional very soon, because as I promised that we are going to take optional thing here. Now, so I was talking about how to study the parliament and proceedings. So आपको issues देखने हैं क्या क्या होने हैं. You have to go beyond the controversy, look at the static part of it, look at the the dynamic changing part of it. For example, the leader of opposition. Okay, so the leader of opposition this time, we have a leader of opposition. पिछले 2 terms में leader of opposition was not there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, but what is the significance of leader of opposition? Why leader of opposition as a post is important? Okay, not only for a respect point of view, but from the constitutional point of view also. That is one thing. Then you must, and I'm taking up a very general, very important question, yet very general. Speaker ke, while choosing the speaker, there was a division of votes which was actually not asked for. So voice vote ke through, the speaker was selected. So what is a voice vote? And then when do you ask division of vote? So I am saying that such kind of smaller things can be framed as a question. ये सारी चीजें मुझे कैसे पता चल रही हैं? So there are two ways. Either I wait for the newspaper tomorrow and see what news get published in it. Or if there is some major happening, I would go to the live blogs. Live blogs give a lot of details of, what is happening every minute. And in that, you get such kind of terms, such a kind of concept which you can look into and you can prepare yourself better, which I call as Express Edge. ठीक है? Also, there are so many news, so many important news, informations, explainers being covered, and especially the parliament thing, which is being covered at the YouTube channel of the Indian Express. I know a lot of people watch videos, learn from videos, but the thing is, how authentic is the video? How much can you trust the video? And when it comes to Indian Express ka YouTube page, you can go through it and you'll find that a lot of information, knowledgeable information you will find from the YouTube page. So you can go there also. And of course, you will watch me at, YouTube after this live finishes, and a recorded video on the YouTube channel of the Indian Express. Now, ये सारी तो बातें मैंने आपको बताई कि पार्लियामेंट सेशन में क्या करना है. मेरी कोशिश रहेगी that I'll call an expert also in times to come where we discuss on the matters related to parliament from the exam point of view. But now let's talk about the questions that you've been asking me. I was talking about optional subjects. This is one area which people will talk about a lot these days because we have entered मेंस सीजन। जी हाँ, तो हमने प्रीलिम्स के बाद अब मेन सीजन में एंटर कर लिया है, और जो मेन सीजन में जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट वरी होती है लोगों की, वो होती है ऑप्शनल्स को लेकर। और इफ यू नो आई एंड माय प्रोड्यूसर कीप टॉकिंग आफ्टर एवरी सेशन दैट वी शुड डू वन सेशन ऑन optionals, so we will do something more comprehensive, more, you know, in a better way for optionals. But I have an information for you, and that information is that we are going to start a article series on how to prepare and strategize for various optionals. Now, many हमारे टेलीग्राम चैनल पे एक रिक्वेस्ट डाली थी that you can tell about your optional, which optional you want to ask us कि उसको strategize कैसे करें, उसको prepare कैसे करें. And I also asked you to write to me at manas.srivastava@indianexpress.com, where you can tell me about your optional, you can tell me about the difficulties of your optionals, and we will talk to experts in the area, and we will come back to you. So I'm happy to announce that next week onwards, or maybe in the later of this week, we're starting a series on various optional papers, strategies related to it. We've got many optional subjects from you. One is geography. We also have public administration. For some, like 2-3 people have asked for public administration. We have history. We have PSIR, which is political science and international relations. We have sociology, and we have anthropology till now. These are the requests which are coming. Now, in today's live, it's quite interesting that students have also asked for English literature. As in, literature also is a very important optional subject, and specifically English literature. So in that article series, we would also now consider English literature as a subject. You can still comment and tell me which is your optional, and if we see that a lot of people want that kind of optional to be covered, we will take up this. Now, strategies and certain points we will discuss in those articles about optionals, but then I again give you the scope. You can also keep asking questions on optionals to us. It can be topic related, it can be general, strategy related, and we will make sure that the experts, we call experts in expert talk article series, and we will keep this optional thing running. Okay, but I need a promise from you guys that you guys have to tell us, okay? You have to tell us your problem. You have to tell us something about your optional, which optional you want to cover, because this is a student aspirant driven section, the UPSC section.
Students are actually replying, and please tell them that we're making a note of it.
Okay, so we are all making a note of it. We have our producer and camera person just behind, the camera, and so we are making a note of it, that which optionals you are saying. You can also, even after this, you can write to me at manas, manas.srivastava@indianexpress.com. Okay, हमारा जो YouTube पे जो वीडियो जाएगा, वहाँ पे नीचे we will also mention this. You can write to me, or you can join the Telegram channel of Indian Express का UPSC section का, which is UPSC Hub, UPSC HUB Hub of the Indian Express. So us pe bhi you can talk to me, you can send, you'll see me in the list, my name, and you can ping me your queries related to your optional. Now, related to this question which was asked a little while earlier, and I have made a note, it is about news relevant to UPSC and exam. So Indian Express as a whole newspaper, and I'm telling you as a student, not just as a journalist or an anchor of the Indian Express, or not just as a teacher, but as a student. The Indian Express as a whole newspaper is very relevant for UPSC. A, you have to know your syllabus. If you know your syllabus, you'll be able to highlight those areas which are relevant for your exam. It's very lucid to understand, and its coverage is very, it seems like to me that the syllabus is so much in the mind that it becomes very relevant. Every news cover, especially the explained page. But then came the UPSC section of the Indian Express, which is a kind of a, trendsetter in a way, that keeping in mind the demands of the UPSC aspirants, we have an entire section called the UPSC section, and we do a lot of pieces. So for example, we do a UPSC key, KEY, that is a chabi, which tells you कि newspaper of the day में किस news को कैसे पढ़ना है. Then we have a UPSC Essentials magazine. We have various articles in UPSC Essentials. We have quizzes, we have mains answer writing, we have current affairs pointers, which is a weekly article जो आपको जो important terms रहे हैं news में वो आपको बताता है, उसके बारे में बताता है. Then we have a issue at a glance, which takes up a issue and frame 5 questions on it and answers those 5 questions. We have experts talk, जैसे कि ये series हम कर रहे हैं. Then we have case studies, we have special series, and right now, like few days back, we started another initiative where we call experts to write the article, the academic experts to write an article. You will find Devdutt Patnaik writing on art and culture. There are, professors and academics from different universities writing on IR, international relations, political science. This all you will find in the UPSC section of the Indian Express. And for that, we have subscription. So you can subscribe. You can also, take a, discount package where you will get everything at one place. Okay, so this is something which I wanted to talk about, our new initiatives. I'll just go a little detail about new initiatives. But regarding this, what to read in the newspaper relevant to UPSC. We've done videos in the past on it. You can go to the YouTube channel of the Indian Express, go to the UPSC related videos, and you'll find, and not only what should be covered, how should they be covered. We've also given you a journalist point of view that how a news is particularly written. And if you know that how a particular news is written, it's become easy for you to understand and reproduce it in your answers. Okay, so we have done a video, but I understand this is a new session for a lot of you. So we might come up with a revised version, a better version of the previous video where we are going to talk about how to read a newspaper for UPSC preparation. Alright, तो ये तो सारी चीजें मैंने आपको यहाँ पे बताई. तो मैंने optionals के लिए आपको बता दिया है कि we are going to start a new series very soon. Please write to me about your optionals. We will cover initially the strategies part, then we can also go deep into the topics. Okay. But that has to come from you. You have to tell me what I have to cover and how. Now, let me just focus on the new initiatives. Okay, this is a very important thing. And why I'm talking about it, हम क्यों इस बारे में बात करें, क्योंकि मुझे कुछ ऐसे emails आए, comments आए in the comment box where the students, aspirants wanted to know कि हमारे नए initiatives हैं क्या या हमारे initiatives क्या हैं. तो यूपीएससी सेक्शन ऑफ द इंडियन एक्सप्रेस की जर्नी शुरू हुई थी यूपीएससी की से, जो कि मैं अभी बात कर रहा था कि न्यूज़पेपर ऑफ द डे से क्या पढ़ना है, कैसे पढ़ना है. दिस इज एन इवनिंग आर्टिकल व्हिच रीचेस यू एंड यू कैन go beyond the headline and you can get to know so many things about the news. Alright, so that is called a UPSC key, जो कि syllabus से आपको curate कर देता है न्यूज़पेपर ऑफ द डे को. But then UPSC Essentials came and there were many initiatives. अभी recent initiative एक जो था वो है UPSC Essentials magazine. Okay, and we are very soon going to celebrate the first year anniversary of the magazine. But we have various new articles now. For example, the latest initiative is the experts from like academics or the domain specific experts writing specifically to address the needs of UPSC aspirants. Okay, and this is not just for that you qualify an exam, but you should be a intelligent, knowledgeable citizens of the country. Okay, so for that point of view, you should have knowledge about different aspects, written from expert domain, or you're written from expertise of people. So you have art and culture, polity, IR, science, and so many other areas where experts are going to write. Now we'll try to make it as regular as possible, but have a look on those articles. The second thing is the issue at a glance. We pick up an issue. You must have seen we've written on coalition government, we've written on heat waves, and so many other road safety, for example. Now we're going to write something new. So every week on a Thursday, we have an issue at a glance article. We also have the new initiative, which is current affairs pointers, keeping in mind your prelims preparation, which is every Monday. Every Monday we take up 20-25 terms of the past week and we present an article to you. And then we have our mains and quizzes, answer writing and quizzes, a lot of quizzes. We've run a prelim series earlier. Now we'll run a mains optional series, and we have a lot of other things, expert talks and case study of the week and so on and so forth. We do keep on doing things as time demands. So these are the things we do. We have a very dedicated team. My team members consist of Nitendra, we have Khushbu, we have Roshni. So we have Priya, we have a team dedicated to work for you, and we have Asha now who is editing these articles which are coming from these learned experts from their fields. So there's a whole team involved in doing up with these articles. ठीक है, तो अब जहां से शुरू किया था वहीं से खत्म करते हैं और हम बात करते हैं पार्लियामेंट की, और इससे मैं रैप अप करूंगा आज का सेशन. अगर आपको कोई क्वेश्चन है तो प्लीज टेल, एंड वी ऑलरेडी मेड द नोट ऑफ ऑप्शनल्स व्हिच यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. नाउ पार्लियामेंट में बहुत कुछ होने वाला है. जी हाँ, सो पार्लियामेंट में अभी आपको देखने को मिलेगा कि देयर विल बी अ प्रेसिडेंट एड्रेस के बाद उस पे द एमपीज एंड एवरीबॉडी विल डिस्कस अबाउट इट. सो यू विल गेट अ लॉट ऑफ न्यूज, एंड डोंट सी दिस न्यूज ओनली एज क्वेश्चंस ऑफ एग्जाम. When you see these news articles, when you see these live blogs, when you see this coverage, okay, also on the YouTube videos of the Indian Express, think them as adding to your knowledge. Okay, when you see a thing from the perspective of adding to your knowledge, the news becomes fun. It becomes not only a source of gaining marks in your exam, but to make you an informed citizen of what is going around. And when you see the question papers, be it prelims and mains, the idea behind asking a question is that whether you are aware as an informed citizen or not. Okay, so there are going to be a lot of things. I welcome your ideas. I welcome your suggestions on what you want us to do more. I am sure you're also following our essay initiative, which is UPSC Essay Simplified and UPSC CSAT Simplified. Please, you're free to comment and you're free to tell us what else you want to do. Okay, so that's all I think for today, and we will talk more about the other aspects of your optional paper and the mains examination. Next week also we are coming, next week Wednesday live. Till then, think smart, work hard, conquer your goal. Bye-bye.